All right, you guys, back at you with another video on today. This is the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, click that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our installment. All right, guys, we're going to talk about running back David Montgomery. We did not see this one coming. I did not see this one coming. When I initially saw the reports of David Montgomery signing to the Detroit Lions, I did a double take. I could not believe it. I thought that it was made up, and I thought it was fake news. And then when I go back and I started seeing all the reports coming out and saying that the Detroit Lions have signed running back David Montgomery, then I knew that it was a real thing. And then I saw some of my friends putting out videos and things of that nature on David Montgomery. And I just could not believe that the Lions had made this type of move. Now, I know that the Lions and Jamal Williams were probably ways apart from negotiating the deal. Jamal Williams probably felt that he earned a bigger paycheck. I thought that the Lions would probably give Jamal maybe a 2-year deal, reportedly somewhere between 10 to 12 million, something like that. And if they would have gave him a 3-year deal, I thought it would have probably been like a 15 to 18 million dollar deal. But they decided not to do that. Pretty much, when you look at David Montgomery, I look at him as he's an upgrade to Jamal Williams. He is the same type of pretty much close and similar type of running back and running style that Jamal has. But he runs a little bit angry and things of that nature. But at the same time, he is a solid running back. He has had one season over 1,000 yards. I believe that was in 2020 when he had that season. But the rest of his seasons, he's rushed over 800 yards. So he has been a constant pro. I hear a lot of good things from the Chicago Bear fans saying that he is great on the field as well as off the field. And that's something that you want to hear if you're a Detroit Lions fan. Initially, I was shocked, man. I was kind of a little upset a little bit because I was thinking like, man, now what does this mean? This means that basically you're probably not going to go out to Bijan Robinson in the first round. I know a lot of us have been thinking about Bijan Robinson being drafted to the Lions maybe at 6 or maybe at 18. And it looks like possibly that may not happen. Now, I'm not going to say that the Lions still can't draft a running back in the draft because they can very well still draft a running back. But at the same time, man, I did not see this one coming. I don't know if you as a Detroit Lion fan saw this one coming, but definitely, man, this is something to talk about. This kid is solid. I had to stay. I pretty much woke up early this morning watching film on this kid again just to make sure the Lions made a great decision for the franchise to be able to get a running back like him on this roster. Now, I thought that David Montgomery would probably sign back with the Chicago Bears after I saw Saquon Barkley end up getting franchise tagged by the Giants. I pretty much was thinking like, okay, well, if Saquon is going back to the Giants, then he's not going to the Bears. Then maybe the Bears are going to be full on run to be able to bring back David Montgomery. So maybe the Bears did not was not able to negotiate with David Montgomery on what amount that he should get with them, and they decided to part ways. Now with the Chicago Bears, David Montgomery split time with running back Khalil Herbert. So maybe Khalil Herbert now he'll move to the number 1 unless they decide to draft a running back at number 9 overall. Don't know how this thing is going to play out in the draft. Don't know if the Lions are going to draft a running back, but it kind of gives you indication of where they're going. They're probably going to go decent defensive line, maybe a defensive tackle or maybe a edge guy. I can't see the Lions taking a linebacker at 6 or I don't know. I don't know if the Lions will take a linebacker at 18 or anything like that. I can't really see the Lions doing that because of what Brad Holmes has said in the past, that he really doesn't value taking linebackers higher, like in the first round. Now, that's something that I would not do per se. I would definitely take a linebacker, especially if he's very, very talented and very good, and he is the type of player that we need. But at the same time, man, I'm really, really puzzled on like kind of some of the moves that the Lions have made. Now I know the Lions brought back Alex Anzalone, and I know you guys probably been thinking like, what is my opinion on it? I'm not the greatest. I'm not the best when it comes to wanting all the guys to come back to the roster. You know what I'm saying? Some of the guys, yes, I can understand that. But I'm the type of person that I feel like you have to be able to tweak it just a little bit. And, you know, I guess if you're a Lion fan, you feel like Brad Holmes has tweaked it a little bit. You feel like we got two corners in Mosley and Sutton. We got two guys that we picked up, and I think we picked up another dude too at corner not too long ago, McCain or something like that. If I'm correct, I could be wrong about that, but I just did not know the direction of what the Lions were going to do. Now, ultimately, yes, I did know that the Lions was going to bring back a couple of these guys, but I just did not know. I felt like we needed to upgrade at the linebacker position. Alex Anzalone did have a solid season towards the end of the year, but I thought that, you know what I'm saying, pretty much we would probably go in a different direction and grab another linebacker out there. There was a lot of linebackers for us to be able to choose from, guys like Eric Kendricks, guys like Bobby Wagner. Now, I'm not saying everybody wanted to come to Detroit because I would be wrong to say that everybody want to be in Detroit, because not everybody wants to come to Detroit. You know, it takes a different type of individual to be able to want to come to Detroit because it's cold and it's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, most of the time you want to be in warm weather, man. And a lot of guys are not clamoring and knocking down their doors to be able to come to Detroit. But Detroit is building up a culture, man, here where guys can fit in and be a family and all this type of stuff. So, you know, I'm wishing the best for Jamal Williams as well. Wishing him the best wherever he decides to go. He could end up going to Chicago. You just never know, man. They can end up swapping running backs out. But Jamal Williams was drawing interest from the Buffalo Bills, as well as the Cincinnati Bengals, and also the New York Jets. So I do not know where he's going to take his talents to, but I know everybody's probably going to want to know what type of deal he's going to get. That's going to be the biggest thing. What type of deal will Jamal Williams get, since he did not get that type of deal with the Detroit Lions? Because pretty much, even though he was the number 2 running back, he acted in as the number 1 running back, because pretty much he got a boatload of carries, and pretty much he carried the team all last season when DeAndre Swift was getting banged up and got hurt. And, you know, you pretty much thought that Swift was going to be able to carry out some great stats last year. And Swift was not able to do it. He only rushed over 500 yards. I know he had a goal of being able to have 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving out of the backfield, but he fell really, really short on that, DeAndre Swift. So now you have pretty much, you got under contract right now, you have DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, and you also have Craig Reynolds, who re-signed back with the team as well. Now, the Lions still could take a running back in the draft. I don't know if they're going to make that type of move, but they may not take a running back early. They may take one later, maybe in the 3rd, 4th round. I don't know. Maybe they see somebody in the 2nd round that they would love to add to the roster. But it's going to be different, man. It's going to be different in Detroit. It's going to be a little bit different, especially for Montgomery, who's going to a rival team. You know, initially when he comes back to Chicago, he's probably going to get booed like a mug, because pretty much, you know, Chicago is thinking like, man, you went to our rival? Okay, we're finna boo you. But it's cool, man. It's cool. It took me a minute to really, really settle in on the David Montgomery situation, because I really just did not know that the Lions was going to make a move. This is a move that none of us saw coming. We did not see this move coming from Brad Holmes at all. And Brad Holmes made a move that was really, really mind-boggling, because I thought that they would be able to get a deal done with Jamal Williams. I'm pretty sure all the Lions fans thought that Jamal Williams would be a Detroit Lion and that he would remain with the roster and remain with the team, especially because he's a fan favorite. They love his leadership. They love the speech that he gave in Hard Knocks and stuff like that. But the Lions had other things on their mind. They couldn't agree with them. And now you have a new running back in David Montgomery. So definitely, man, hopefully David Montgomery comes in and is able to do damage behind one of the best offensive lines in all of the NFL, and that's the Detroit Lions. They do have a nice line, and it took a minute to get this type of line that the Lions have now, because the Lions have never been known for having a great offensive line, but now they do. So hopefully David Montgomery will be able to rush over 1,000 yards, stay healthy on the season, and give Detroit what they need, man. To me, I think he's a upgraded Jamal Williams. He's a younger Jamal Williams, and he's going to give the team those hard runs. He's going to come in. He's going to work hard, and he fits the culture of what the Detroit Lions want to do. They want to have a tough and gritty and grinded out type of team, and he fits that mold. Especially playing in the NFC North, where it's pretty much a black and blue division, where guys really, really pound the football and things of that nature. So, man, I cannot believe it, man. David Montgomery is now a Detroit Lion. So does this mean that Bijan Robinson is off the table? Does this mean that guys like Zach Charbonnet is off the table for the Detroit Lions? I kind of think that it probably is. You're probably not going to go these guys' way, but I could be wrong. We're going to see, man, what Brad Holmes does in the draft this year, especially when it comes to the running back position, because now you don't have to go into the draft saying, "Oh yeah, I need to get a running back right away," because you have Montgomery now. You still have Swift, who has 1 year on his deal. So this is something that was that caught me off guard, guys. So I can't believe it, but let me know in the comment section as a Detroit Lion fan, what do you think about the Detroit Lions signing David Montgomery to a 3-year deal, reportedly worth $18 million, and I believe he's getting 10 to 11 guaranteed. All right, you guys, this is the Keeping It Raw podcast, and I'll be back to you soon with another video. I'm out of here. Peace.